Lone Tech, pronounced backwards, is Technol, which is a character in Anna Karenina, a great Russian novel. On top of that, Lone Tech happens to be a product that if you're dealing with online leads, you absolutely have to have. If you need a rate engine that's going to be compliant, they've got that too, amongst other things. Seriously, get in the 21st century. Don't be an 18th century Russian novel. Click this banner right over there. So yesterday we shared with you a story about Bank of America and a lawsuit where the Department of Justice accused, sued, and won $1.27 billion on a book of countrywide loans known as the Hustle Program. Hustle, by the way, is the High Speed Swim Lane, or HSSL, Hustle Loan Program. Got it?
Here's the thing. This lawsuit came about because a whistleblower named Edward O'Donnell, who was an exec at Countrywide, blew his whistle.
That's what she said.
So an exec, which means he was part of the transgression, decided to snitch Countrywide out. And for his momentary act of heroism, he was rewarded. Now, how much do you think he got? Say it out loud right now. Just go ahead. Pick a number. Just say it right now out loud. So an exec at Countrywide, who was part of the problem, snitched himself out and got paid. How much? Come on, how much?
I hope you said it out loud. Here's a hint. Ready? You're not even close. It's way higher. So change your answer right now and say it out loud. Okay? You got it?
Because here it is. Try this one on for size. He got $57 million.
I'm rich, bitch!
That's like you and a bunch of your friends mugged someone, then you went to the cops and said, look, me and Kevin and Brian and Keen and Neil and Drew, we just beat the crap out of this guy and took his wallet. And the cops not only failed to arrest you, but gave you $57 million. Seem crazy? Well, welcome to the mortgage industry. Okay, but back to the story at hand.
I'm going to give you a second to pause here so you can digest what you just heard because it makes no sense. Anyways, moving on. Then a panel of 3 judges threw the case out and said there were no grounds for the lawsuit and Bank of America does not need to pay the $1.27 billion. Woohoo! Chalk one up for the banks and stupid lawsuits. And by the way, this lawsuit in particular doesn't even make the top 10 list of bullcrap cases. Yet, this is the one that got thrown out. Okay, so here's the question. If Bank of America doesn't have to pay because the case is without merit, then does ex-Countrywide executive snitch extraordinaire Eddie O'Donnell get to keep his $57 million?
Does he? Hey, what do you think? Hell, I know. You already know the answer, because logic would say, of course not. But remember, this is the mortgage industry in the year 2016, where we're all wards under the control of Nurse Ratched. He gets to keep the $57 million. You know, one of the most frequently asked questions we get is how do you get content for the show every day? And our response is, just look at the industry. We could do 10 shows a day because policy, guideline, and enforcement of the mortgage industry, it's a circus, a full-blown circus. So we've got a great idea.
Yes, we do, Frank. Dear Attorneys General, Department of Justice, CFPB, and anybody else that's salivating right now because they want to sue a bank. We know the CEOs, the CFOs, the COOs, underwriters, presidents, VPs, amongst others of several banks and non-banks all across the country. Get this, they're all crooks, all of them. They all pressure underwriters. They all knowingly mislead, misrepresent, and securitize loans for personal profit. They all redline. They're all guilty of steering, disparate impact, and any other generally understood bad practice. All of them. So, call us. We'll give you all their names and numbers. And when you sue them, we want our whistleblower money. Now, I've done the math. If that sniveling snitch Eddie gets to keep $57 million for a lawsuit that was overturned, my information, my calculations here... Oh, what I've got, it's worth $387 million to me. So, no money owners, please. Just wire it to First Northern Bank, the Vacaville branch, not the Fairfield branch. And, side note, they're crooks too.
387 mil? We need to get in on this money, man. I mean, screw the lottery. Let's just snitch on banks. It's its own industry. Seriously, suing banks is an industry. You think I'm wrong? Think again. This is where it gets really good.
And I think we shared this before, but I can't remember, so indulge us for just a second here. One of our viewers sent us a letter. She had this sent to her residence. It says, "Dear Jennifer, you might get, oh, look, right there in the paper, $57 million, just like Countrywide Eddie, or $18 million, or $31 million, if you even think that you were pressured when you worked at your last bank." Now, you may not even know or remember or think that you were pressured, but you might have been. And if you were, 57 million bucks. Call us. Now, what the letter doesn't say is, even if the lawsuit based on your accusations are proven to be baseless, you still get to keep your 57 million freaking dollars. I bet the next round of letters will. You can almost hear the printers working overtime right now, pumping out these letters and sending them to employees and ex-employees of banks all across the country. Thousands of them. And these guys are just waiting for one of you to respond so they can pounce on the next bank.
Now ask yourself with what you've just heard. Who's the real criminals here?
Got to keep 57 million, which is, oh my God, ridiculous. And then you get to keep it.
Keep it. They're just like, oh, thanks. The lawsuit's this much. Here's your money. Thanks a lot. And it doesn't have to get paid, but you can keep that money.
Only in America.
Really? He got to keep the money?
Got to keep the money.
It's fascinating.
57 million. An executive. So he was part of Countrywide.
Yeah.
And then he snitches himself out and doesn't go to jail, gets 57 million. Then they say it's not really accurate, keeps the 57 million.
Welcome to America. You guys have a great day. Let us know your thoughts down below. Forward, share, and subscribe. Don't miss out on Loan Tech. Catch you tomorrow here at the National Real Estate Post.
And you know, all this money makes it into the rate sheets that you use to sell your clients loans who get to finance this over the next 30 years of their life.
There you go.
Awesome!